Computer, share screen. Oh man, haven't done this COVID time. All right. So we're in it to win it. Y'all grab that file and we're gonna organize it, pop it in, right? Good. So don't judge me. Look at this screen desktop. Oh my God. Screenshots. I love my screenshots. There we go. Okay. Downloads. Let's go. Get into your courses. We should have branding. Yes? In semester 4, because we did it in cab class together. You're like, oh my God, I remember that day. Okay, so go on in. I'm going to find mine. I think I have mine here in documents. Yes, I have a mock folder that I use. There we go. We have branding, right? Wonderful. It should again be in your semester 4 folder. You've named everything now based on your classes. Go on into in classes, and I want you to create a folder. You should already have one called AI Do, right? And if you're like, nope, it's sitting in my downloads. What are you doing sitting in your downloads? I know some of you are like, oh shit, yeah, mine's sitting in my downloads. Organize your files, please, right? Your employer is going to be really mad if you don't have your files organized, right? Go ahead, create a folder, and we're going to name it in class 2 branding gearheads. Okay? Originals, open that up and drag that download in there, please. It's right there. Yeah. PNG file. Good. Drag, drop, happy. Good. In class 2, series 1. We're going to work with some little tips and tricks. Again, we're working with color mostly today. We'll work with some simple graphics. And I'll show you again how we can begin branding, right? So let's go in, everyone, create a new file. So we are in Illustrator. I think I had someone in the other group in Photoshop. And I was like, halfway through, they were like, this doesn't seem right. Not Photoshop. We're in Illustrator. All right. It's all good. And you know who you are because I'm taping this right now. They probably won't watch it, so that's okay. So here we go. Your name. Yes, good. Underscore. Gearhead. Good. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. That's fine. Mitch Gearheads, right? This is not what we're handing in. I'm going to need the screenshot. So the naming convention really neither here nor there. That being said, 8.5 11 is totally fine. Go ahead, make it 8.5 11 or 5 by 5 or 10 by 10 or 20 by 17. Don't care. Inches is what's important. Okay. Go ahead, make it inches. Wonderful. And create. Boop. Now we know how to place a file, correct? File, place, right? And you're like, can I drag and drop it in? Yeah. If you drag and drop it, though, you're going to have to be a little bit more aware that it's not embedded or that it is embedded instead of linked. That being said, you can go here to place or Command Shift P, right? Let's try Command Shift P. Good. We know InDesign's Command D, but in Illustrator, there we go. So now what we're going to do is let's place, file, place. We're going to go find that file, right? Documents, Mohawk, branding, in class, originals. Holy heck, and ham. There we go. Y'all, so remember, show options. Make sure that you can see when you're bringing any file in. That way you can basically link it, right? If you decide to do your branding assignment in Illustrator, highly recommend you keep the links on. Treat Illustrator very similar to InDesign, right? You don't want to embed a bunch of images because that's going to be very difficult and it's going to make the program just spin, right? So in this case, I'm using it as a reference template. It's all good. I don't want it to be linked. I'm going to embed it. This is great. Okay, place. Y'all, this is going to show up very similar to InDesign with that little guy like that. What I want everyone to do is do not click and drag. I don't want you to do a marquee box. I want everyone just to click right now. Just click. One click. That's it. Click. Boom. Good. Okay. The reason I do that is I want you all to be on the same page as me. Yes. So it's going to come in. It's going to be really big depending on your document size. This is an 8.5 11 sheet. So clearly very large, right? I'm going to show you a little tip here. Shift O as in Oscar. Shift O. That's our artboard tool, right? And you can find your artboard tool. You'll see it gets highlighted down here beside your graph. or underneath or whatever it is, okay? That guy there. We've used the artboard tool in CAD class. Remember we did skate logo and that sort of thing? We're gonna do this little trick here. Go up here. Does everyone have the control bar at the top? Meaning you can see all this information at the top, right? If you don't have this showing, y'all, go into window and make sure control is on. That's really important. Your control is right here, right? Show control, yeah? Wonderful. That being said, what I want everyone to do right now is click, drill down on where it says letter, and scroll up right to the top. You'll notice at the very top, you have two options. You have fit to selected art and you have selected bounds. It doesn't really matter because there's only one picture, right? So go ahead and let's do fit to artboard bounds. Go ahead and do that, the very top. Boop. What you'll notice is that it will then take the shape of that page. So everyone is literally on the same page right now. All right? Yeah. Just
regardless of the size that you did,
you will all have the same size. That's right. Yeah, so everyone should be sitting, and if you look at the document sizes right here, right? Everyone should be sitting at a 25 by 11, right? Because we just clicked, we fit the artboard to the document size, yes? Cool, yeah, kind of handy so that you can do it. I mean, it's there for you. Check out all the other presets as well, y'all. You have tons of other presets if you're doing an iPad, iPad Pro, Surface, they're all there for you, right? You can instantly touch on and pick any of those options if you want to do this work in Illustrator, right? Anyway, that's there. Wonderful. Hey, name the artboard. Let's go ahead and we're just going to call this out as main GearHead brand. Good to name our pages, right?
It just brings it down to that size icon, just like round corners or anything. Just
no, yeah, canvas won't round corners. But that's the dimension of this. Yeah, that's the dimension, yeah, of the screen, right? So that's handy. And go ahead, we're gonna hit you can hit the V key. We know V is our black arrow, right? Or black arrow. So you can click on black arrow, but I want everyone to hit the V key. I'm gonna go through and keep working with shortcuts. I want you to keep practicing your shortcuts because they're the same in InDesign pretty much as Illustrator, as Photoshop. A lot of the keys are the same, right? So if you get practicing them, it's gonna really help. Okay, cool. What do we do with our layers all the time, y'all? What do we make out of this template that we just brought in? You're like, yeah, thanks, man. Template, right. We create a template through double clicking. Please go to layer one. Actually, shit, before we do that, you may want to get your workspace set. So workspace, if you haven't done this yet, notice I am using Essentials Classic because I haven't set up my cab yet. That's okay. If you don't have it, you can use cab totally. If not, you can go to Essentials Classic. And then you'll notice what I need to do is I need to reset it because I have moved it around, being that this is the third in class with you all. So I kind of move my stuff around as I go. I'm going to reset it and everyone can do that if you wish to be on the same page as me, quite literally. Let's go ahead and drag out. Again, you can use the cab one. And the only thing I'm going to do is I want to see options in my color. Boom. Okay. We love our 4 CMYK break, right? Nice. So we have our swatches, really important. We're going to use swatches quite a bit today. We're going to use, of course, our color bar. We're going to use our libraries quite a bit today as well. So make sure that you can click in and make sure that your libraries are active. If you could do that would be wonderful. If you're stressing with that or things aren't working or syncing up, we need to get that fixed and figure out why. And we'll come back to that in a bit, okay? Now, that being said, we are happy. We've got a template made, right? I'm going to pull my layers out nice and big right there because that's really important. And I'm going to move this freaking bar out of my way. Get out of here, yo. There we go. Okay, cool, right? Layers, as mentioned, click, click on the layer. We've got our workspace set up. Double click on layer one. Don't just name it template. What do we have to do? Click the checkbox, right? Template, template. Make it an actual template. Wonderful. I'm not actually going to dim, so go ahead and turn off the dim. Don't need it because I've dimmed everything kind of for you already on the sheet, the worksheet here. Go ahead and sit okay. I said worksheet. I feel so high schooly. So what we're going to do now is we're going to look here at this section here, the colorway, okay? If you look down here, it kind of just shows you the elements we're going to be touching on with this Inclass. We're going to be working with quite a bit of these tools right down here in our, right? We're going to work with pattern. We're going to work with intertwine. We're going to work with repeat and objects on path and blend. So these are the ones we're going to be looking at, okay? Just working through these and how we can utilize them again to build up our brand and also create some fun graphics, etc. So let's start. First thing we have our template. It's a template. I want you then to click on layer, new layer, and we're going to go and name this colors. I'm going to begin at the color section, okay? Always great to get our colors down first before we go any further, right? Colors layer. Wonderful. Okay. Now this is fun. Remember back in the day, remember CAD class? Remember we did this? Go to the star tool, everyone. I want everyone to start with the star tool, okay? They had an upgrade. The star tool and the polygon tool just got upgraded as of like a few versions ago. And I want to show it to you. It's really cool. And you're like, yeah, I haven't made a star since we did it in CAD class. So go ahead and hit the star tool. Boom. I want us to go here, and what we're going to do is since we are gearheads, I'm going to make some quick swatches here, okay? Like so. So with the star tool on, just hover over cut, like go near in this area, quick swatch area, and just click. And remember how when we clicked, that brought up these dialog boxes and allows you then to add in multiple points, right? So you can create a 30-point star, you can create a 50-point, you can create whatever point star you wish. Doesn't really matter. If you want to try 30, you can make a 30-point star and hit OK. Cool. So there we go. We've got a star, right? Now, I need to make a gear, so I'm going to show you all a neat little trick here. But before we get there, one thing I want you to do is hit the D key, as in David. Wonderful. We know what D does, right? Default. Get you back to white fill, black stroke. Yes. Whatever you want. 30, 40, 10, 11. Doesn't matter. Just give me some points. It's all good. I went with 30, y'all. Okay. Now, this is the wicked thing about it. Back in the day, you'd have to change your radiuses. You'd have to make the radius bigger or smaller, and then the outer radius bigger, smaller. Check this new upgrade. It's right here in this white little dot. I want everyone to grab this dot and pull in and out and check it out. You now have the ability to control your star radius. Oh my goodness. This is a huge time saver because now I don't have to redo the star, right? Do what I just did and work with my radius. You can literally just pull it in. That's so fun, right? Now, another neat thing that they've added to it is this little blue guy here. See the little blue arrow up and down? Go ahead and click on that arrow and start pulling up and down on it to the bottom right corner. And notice how you can just instantly add and remove stars. Cool. The problem being is it only goes to 20. I'm kind of upset about that. So if you need 30 stars, you did it and leave it that way, okay? That being said, 20 is pretty good. I want everyone, let's just go play around back and forth. Notice how that's pretty cool, okay? Now, what I'm going to do next, y'all, is kind of a neat thing. And if you hit the white arrow or A key, remember A is your white arrow. So everyone got that? We got 20 points. White fill, black stroke. Hit the A key. That's your white arrow. Check this out. This is neat. Right here, you should all have in your control corners. I want you to click on this corners dialog. This is a little trick I found somewhere, and I'm like, oh, I got to show this to my class. This is neat. I didn't know you could do that. So in the corners, I want everyone to click on the radius and click the radius button up one. Okay, let's give it a radius. Boop. You'll notice what happens here. Okay, kind of does something like that. Now, what I also want you all to do is we can change this radius to be soft or more pronounced. So there we go. We've got more of a pronounced and soft. Now what I want you to do is try the chamfer radius. This is cool. So click on the chamfer and then zoom in and let's have a look. Cool. And what you're going to notice is if you pull in and out with your pulleys using your white arrow, right? Pull in and out, and then you can change up your radius. There we go. So I went with that. Pull in and out. Now, the trick to this, y'all, is if you leave it on this one with the super pointy one, it's going to give you this really wacky, weird looking one. So you want to use the simpler version or the smaller rounding section there. And then you can kind of pull that in and out and create a neat gear like so. Yeah. White arrow. So hit the A key. Yeah. And then let's see. Oh, there it is. Just took a while. So we found a glitch there. Sometimes hitting the A key kind of like took a few times for the corners to show up. So that's kind of neat, right? And you can again play with your radius here. Let's give it a neat little guy like that. Um, whew, yes. Yep. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look for some colorways, okay? So I'm going to do some colors. Yeah, right there. Yeah. A key. Yeah. And then click on it. The little corners, right where it says corner. There. Go to champ. That's yeah. Good. Increase the rate section. Bump that up. Oh, here, let's go. So what happened was you're just actually you click on the white. There we go. So start with a V, black arrow, then A, then corners. Yeah. There you go. Perfect. You ready? Now we click here, and you just need to find a corner. Oh, your corner tool is missing. No show corner. Oh, and you should go on. Have you never been able to use your corner? Oh, dude, it's here somewhere. Looks legit. You shows one of them. Yeah, yours is not showing, huh? I don't know why. Yeah. No, just those little. Oh, there it is there. So it works there. You may need to just start over. I'm not sure what's going on with your start. There they are. So they are there. You just have to do something. Start over again. Yes. Yeah, I would just play around with the B and the white this way. Oh, another thing, Command K. So y'all, I forgot to mention this. Oh, it's on there, scale corners. Here's one. If you Command K for a second, there are two things I want you to turn on. One is scale corners, and one is double click. Did you get it? Amazing. So just play around with it. Top right corner is your double click to enter isolation mode. Some of you are like, I hate that thing because it always, I know, but you're going to want it for this class. It's so good. And so isolation mode should be turned on, top right. And also notice there's one called scale corners. You want scale corners to be turned on because that will also make sure that when you size it, awesome. Oh yeah, you add your stars super small, right? So that's okay. Let's go here. Pretty difficult. So now we have that. Then we can send over here and a. Yeah, so try that, try to make another star and see if you can't make it with 3.3 and 0.1, yeah. And switch those and then try again. It's not the end of the world, it's just a fun little thing, y'all, so I'm not gonna dock marks if you can't create gear. It's not the end of the world. Right here, we'll sweep this. Cool, here, good. All right, so A, formers, champ. Click on the radius, okay, so it's gonna be something like that. And then what we do is we go here and we just play. Cool. All right. There's a white arrow that's your best friend when it comes to doing that. Okay. So let's go. That was a gear. Now, colors, yes, we need to figure out what we want to do for colorway. Now, let's do this. I want to get rid of the stroke on here. So everyone, what button do we hit to remove? Color or stroke? Do you remember what button does that? Yay, good, question mark. Yes, or a slash, right? Question mark, hit the question mark. Now, if you hit the question mark and your stroke is still there, just keep an eye on what's forward, right? So that just means that you accidentally had your fill forward. What buttons like just moves our fill to our stroke? X, amazing. So let's try that again. Hit the D key just to practice it. Good, D key is black fill or white fill, black stroke. X, right, good. Swap, not swap, but just flip, right? Fill is forward, strokes forward. Fill is forward, strokes forward. We know shift X. Try shift X. Swap is your shift X, right? So shift X, keep going, good, good. This is what I want. Notice I have white fill on. I don't want a white fill, or I want to keep the white fill. So hit the X key, bring your stroke forward, then hit question mark. Good. And you're like, yeah, I already did that, bro. Good. So what we're going to do here is let's make this a color. Okay. Make sure your fill is forward, of course. So hit the X button one more time. And there we go. And I'm going to do purple. I'm going to do maybe purple and let's do purple and over here do a bright pink. Okay. So I got purple and bright pink for those two colors. If you want to just use circles for now, just do that. The gear was just kind of, we will be using the gear later on, but maybe it's just come see me and we can build that out together. Okay, or we can try again. Now, this is a neat little function that we can play with though. Okay, everyone hit the W key. Okay, W is in Williford. That's your grandma. So it's a square to a circle. It looks like this. It's your blend tool. Okay, so everyone click on that or hit the W. Yeah, it's probably easier that way. Go here. Now you ready? This is fun. This is your blend tool, and we're going to utilize the blend tool to create custom swatches so you can create your own colorways. All right. In order to use the blend tool, it's really simple. You just have to click from one to the next. That's it. And it will blend one into the other. So go here, and I want you to go click and click. Amazing. And what you're going to notice is it's going to create, depending on the settings, some of you may have this beautiful smooth gradient. Some of you may not. Some of you may have like a few of them, okay? What I'd like you to do here, y'all, is hit the A key for a second. Click away, okay? And I want you now to click on just the pink portion and move it around and notice how that kind of interacts. Hey, check that out. So if you zoom in, right? And I look at my layers here for a second. It kind of creates this really neat 3D, right? It allows you to do this kind of neat 3D effect, right? Yes. W, and then all you got to do is, you don't even have to have them highlighted, y'all. You just go click and then click. And if you click on the two items, it goes from point A to point B. That's it. All right. You can blend anything. You can blend a triangle to a circle to a square. You can blend line to line. You can blend, you name it, you can blend them. It's kind of cool. Oh, yes, A. Okay, click, and now you can move it around. Yeah. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. Now, this is not really what I wanted to show you, but it is. It's kind of all built in. We're going to use this a few other times, not today, but you can, again, this is neat, yes. And you can, of course, go to another swatch, right? Or do this. If you go here to a square, right? And if I just go here and let's go, I'm going to make a black square and I hit the W key again, you can actually go from that to a black square and you can keep going. That's kind of neat. And it'll allow you to do some really neat things. The thing with that is you don't want to have a stroke on it because otherwise, right, the stroke will want to be there and it kind of destroys the illusion, right? So that being said, also with the A key or isolation mode, if you click in, notice you can change the color and it will instantly change the color for you. Kind of neat. And then you can get some really like neat in between colorways. Okay. Now, if you do a Command Y, just have a look at Command Y. And this is what's happening. You'll notice you have this thing called the spine. And the spine is basically where that blend is going to follow. Yeah. You can actually go in and adjust the spine and make it a curve if you wish, even with your pen tool, which is neat. And you can create like an S if you want, and it'll actually flow along that line. Right? I'm not going to get into that today. Truthfully, what I need you to do is just go here, right? We've got this. What I need you to do, double click. So select now on this swatch. I want you to double click on the tool here. And you'll notice it even shows you right there with the star tool, kind of fun, right? So double click there. What I want you to do is to make this a little bit more relevant and usable is I want you to go here, click where it says smooth color. So double click on the tool. It'll open up in this blend options. You'll notice many of us are probably sitting on smooth color. And what it does is it creates 266 or something instances from point A to point B. That's a lot of vector, right? 260 of them from there to there. I don't want that. I want you to go to specified steps. And I'm going to use this as swatches so that I can use this for a brand. Sorry, 254 is the default. What I want everyone to do, instead of 250, to go to specified steps, instead of 254, make it 3.
How do you get that?
So click down, double click on, yeah, or you can find it here in Object Blend. It's there as well. But double click, that'll open this up. Move from smooth color to specified steps. And then change it to 3. And notice what happens, y'all. It creates that blend, and it just pops in 3 instances of that color, right? You have instant swatches here. It's really nice that you can take now this, and it gives you all the in-between colors. This is great for character art, like if you're doing shading and you want to have those tints. It's really nice that it can pop in the tints for you as well, right? So that's a nice little thing to do. Did you get that? Yeah, cool. So what we're going to do next, y'all, is let's try to make another one. What I want you to do is select here, Option, click and drag down. Okay. Now you can try the isolation mode. So instead of using the white arrow, you can actually just click, click, right? Click, click. Try that. So click, click into one of them. Click, click. Nice. Now you'll notice you can go in and maybe we'll do, ooh, shit, that looks nice. There we go. All I did there was I clicked into this, changed it to blue, and now I have that same base purple color. Now it's blending into blue, and it gives me another nice array. And I like both of these color schemes actually for my gearheads. I feel like this is nice. All right, let's do these two real quick. Pop that over there, Option, drag it down there. You're like, dude, can't you just grab both of them and drag them over? Yes, that's how we would do that. Sorry, there we go. So Option, click, drag, right? So select those two, Option, click, drag. And now just click, 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 get into isolation. Change the colorway. I'm going to do one of rust. So I'm going to work with the browns. See if I can't do like a dark brown to a light brown. See if you can't change that.
Oh, sure.
So you go there. Yeah, or two. You can even do two, but there's two. Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah, black arrow, and then we go click, click. Now yours isn't working, so what I'm going to suggest is go here. See that? Double click. This is what we want. So double click for isolation. So click, click. Nice. And then notice it allows you to get in. Cool. All right. So y'all, if your isolation doesn't work, it's right here, right? Command K. Some of you may have turned it off because it was driving you bananas and you're like, I hate isolation. I double click on stuff, but I promise you it's really handy for some things, especially when you're using blends and things like this effects where you want to get in and dig into something when it's all grouped. It's just really handy. But turn it on or off. It's there, right? So just know where it is. Know that double click to isolate. Also, everyone turn scale corners on because if you start enlarging and shrinking that gear that you made, if you don't have scale corners on, it means that that gear is going to start, it's going to be a circle when you enlarge it because you're not scaling the corner, right? Makes sense? So go ahead, hit OK. Again, let's try that. Double click. I'm going to do a nice rust version. So I'm going to go like dark brown. And then here, I'm going to go light brown. Check it out. I don't even have to double click again to get into the second one because what I did by isolation, I can then select on both as independent. It's kind of nice. So double click to get out of isolation mode. Click, click to get in. Change the color. And this one, maybe I'll do green, do like a camo version, right? Very military eccentric. I feel like this is kind of military-esque. Check this out. If you want to just add a bit of black to a color, that's where your K comes in handy. And by making one swatch the green, you can even make both swatches exactly the same green and then just add some black, right? Amazing. That's how you create that gradient subtlety that we did. I think we did that in CAB class together. Anyway, that's that. Wonderful. Let's save that. And we're going to make this into our working. And I'm going to call this out as Thursday. Nice. Now, did we all get that okay? Pretty straightforward. Now, as mentioned, Command Y, you notice that these are not expanded, right? These are just aligned, yeah? So what I want everyone to do, Command, you can look at it in this way if you wish. I want everyone to select on it, marquee select on all your swatches. Good. I want you to go to Object, and here's where your blend tool actually lies. So if you're wondering, like I told you to double click on it, but you can actually access it through here as well. Object Blend, right? Check this out. I want you now to go to Expand. This is awesome because you can't do anything with these the way they are, right? It's an effect that's showing. We know that we need to expand stuff out. So if you go ahead and hit Expand, hey, there you go. So now we have them as objects, right? So what we're going to do next is let's add some swatches, y'all. So what you can do is select on the first group of swatches. Go into your swatches, of course. So open up swatches, window, swatches. I'm sure you've done this before. I want us to start a little swatch group library. So in order to do that, I want you to go here into your swatches, select on the first swatch, and I want you to hit on the little folder right there, okay? So open up swatches, click on the folder. It's going to default to this setting, which is perfect. So it's telling me that it's going to make a swatch group of selected artwork, and it's going to include swatches for tints. I'm not going to get into global process colors, but that global is kind of nice. Anyway, let's go ahead, name it, sorry, before we hit OK. So let's call this out as GearHeads 1 and hit OK. Hey, there it is. So now we have our swatch started, right? And I'm going to drill that down. Let's make 3 more, right? GearHeads 2. Select here, 1 more. Yeah. 3 and 1 more. Can name them all differently. Good. Okay. So now we've got a nice array. Now, if I'm going to work in InDesign, right, this is not helpful for me, right? I need these swatches to be in InDesign for me, or Photoshop, or whatever it may be. We know that we can add to our library. Let's do that right now. Go over to your libraries, everyone. And let's start up our brand new branding library. This is where I would love you to begin when you start your brand, right? Let's start building this up. Create new library, everyone. Do we have that button? Should be right there. And I want you to give it a name, and we're going to call this out as GearHeads brand. Sure. And if you want to say Inclass, just to, I don't know how often we've used our libraries off. Like it might be the only folder in there. I'm not sure if you use it often, but good. I love it. You should be using it, right? Go ahead and create. Nice. So it'll now pop open and say, okay, start building your library, start building your brand out. Wonderful. What I want you to do is let's grab these swatches and I want you to add them to your library, right? So let's go ahead, grab it by the folder. You'll notice right here, add selected, add current to library, right? Boom. And I'd like you to just practice that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's add all 4 of them. Okay. Bang, you'll notice there it is. GearHeads. Perfect. Click here. Boom. Click here. Boom. Click here. Boom. Wonderful. Can you do them all at the same time?
Yeah.
Amazing. I didn't know. Do them all at once. But again, I like you to try it 4 times because it's all through. Remember those punches I talked about 1,000 times? Do it the same, right? Practice it, right? But yeah, save yourself and you know you can select it and move it over all at once. Boom, do it. Wonderful. Awesome. We started there, y'all. We got some colorways, but let's get into Adobe Creative Cloud. Okay, it's interesting. It kind of took the it made the break at a weird place. That's okay. So we're all here, yes? Our Creative Cloud. I call it the Adobe Suite, and another class looked at me like I had 3 heads. Like, what's the suite? Sorry, old language. So Creative Cloud, you should have a little icon at the top of your screen. And we've been in here for stock, and we've been in here for color, and we've been in here for fonts and so on. What I want you all to do is let's go here and just type out COLOR. Now, that is the American spelling, I'm aware, but that will bring it up. And it's right here, and it's called Adobe Color. Let's hop in there. We're gonna do this really quick. But again, love you to do this when you get to your brand, and it's great practice. So let's start here, everyone. Should open up with our Adobe Color. Your logo or your icon here should show you there. Also, check this shit out. Isn't that nice? Look at the folder that's right there waiting for you. Because you just created the Gearheads one and you went into it, it's sitting right here as the start adding to folder. If you want to change that, of course, you can drop down, right, in Adobe Color. You can pick any of your libraries, right, and then start adding. So awesome. We know we're in Gearhead. Wonderful. Okay. What I'd like everyone to do is we know we looked at all of this stuff before and how we can change up a naggle list and da-da-da-da-da. So let's just go right into the Explore, okay? I want to throw in, I'm feeling like a little rusty today. So what I'd like everyone to do is let's go here and we're going to do rusty gears, okay? And then hit return. Nice. Now we're getting somewhere, right? So now I've got, again, I'm feeling this is a real rustic, like, I don't know why the rust brown seems to go with gears, although it's kind of old and it's got some nice look to it. So what I want you to do is let's add a few. So I'm going to scroll down. Check this out. You can even screenshot this stuff. Like, isn't that cool? You can actually utilize this kind of as a Pinterest board as well. You can find some really neat imagery. So I just kind of pinch to zoom in, right? And then you can do a command shift 4, snap, 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 right? Take some of the photos and steal it from here. You can also download these as JPEGs if you wish, right? And that's an option. For now, though, what I'm going to do, oh, look at that one. That's nice. We know all you got to do is tap add to library. So let's go in and add maybe 3 other swatches. It only takes a second. Add, done. This is a nice one. Add, done. Ooh, I love the grays. That's kind of nice. Add to library and done. And maybe we'll do one more. Oh, that's nice right there. I love this dark kind of gray blue. Nice. Wonderful. So that's lovely, right? If you go into your libraries at this time, up to the very top of the screen, we were at Explore, go into libraries and just have a look at your Gearheads now. Notice how it actually has those ones that we saved in, right? It has Gearheads 1, 2, 3, 4 that we named. And now it's got these ones that are kind of like random colored, right? Or named. You can rename these as well if you don't want to have industry masterpiece in there instead. You just have to do that in the Illustrator. You can go and rename. I don't know if you can do it here. No, I don't think so. Anyway, that's all good. Yes. Sorry. Yep. Now, what I would like everyone to do is we're going to take like for me to hand this in. I'm going to have you take a picture of your spot. Oh, wonderful. Yeah. So you have it there. And then all you got to do is you go here. Let's print that. And you go right here. Oh, it doesn't do anything. Oh, that's a glitchy, but you know how to do. That's good. You got that's how you do it. That's a, yeah. Yeah, we have the same issue over there. Oh, you have one too many. All right. Yeah, awesome. That's great. It's all you. Whatever you want. Yeah. Make the colors are all you. Everyone make it different. It's all good. I don't want everyone to be the same. And these ones you want to add to. Yes, the problem being is you have one too many, I think. Oh, let me see. Good. But no, that's it. That's how you do it, though. You have the right idea, and have to restart it and try again. And maybe if you haven't used libraries in a while, it's just maybe the syncing issue, so you might need to restart and try again. Okay, and hopefully that'll fix it and add to your libraries.
Yeah, I can't.
Same thing, yeah, so you select it and then it should just add to the book. Oh, there it is. Good. Hey, so click and add. Perfect. You're welcome. So it's yeah. I just need a nice selection here, y'all, right? Clearly these are much more in line where I want to be. I feel like these are more like tints, you know what I mean? Like it's okay to do this, like, but what's more, not analogous, but I feel like it's kind of like they're all clearly that's how the swatch worked. That being said, I'm happy with that. Let's move on. Okay, we now know how to create our own little swatch libraries. Next step, once some of us can get our libraries working, hopefully, I want you to add these guys back into Illustrator because we grabbed some from libraries, right? So the same thing holds true. I want you to go here, and because I have this steel gear grain, whatever, I want you to right click, and then I want you to add theme to swatches. Don't add color to swatch, because if you add color, it's just going to add one colorway or one color thing. Right click and add theme to swatches. So add theme, I'm going to double click, add theme. I'm going to double click, add theme. I'm going to double click and add theme. Wonderful. And now I have a really great array here, okay, of my rusty ones. You'll notice I accidentally downloaded the same one twice. Right, that's okay. I just accidentally hit add to library 2 times. I knew I did that, but and so you can just get rid of them, right? Go here and then you can right click and delete. There you go, gone, right? So you have that ability there, okay? So double tap or right click on the swatch, add to library, okay? And then we're pulling from the libraries. You're gonna want to do that again from InDesign, Photoshop. You're gonna have that into your swatch library. Still not. And have you got any of these tools before? The game one did work. Oh, yeah, look at that. I'm wondering though if we went from here to there. You know what I mean? Like, have you tried going online and grabbing the swatches? You know what I'm saying? And that works. Okay. And so what we can do, don't worry about it. I would say is let's go here. As long as we can go here. Easy. Your swatches, then we'll, okay, so keep the right click and then add that to your, looks like you got there. So now these ones, oh, sorry, that's skate. So let's go here, GearHeads, okay? So now go online to Adobe Color and then grab like 3 or 4 colors, okay? Add them and then right click and then add them to your library. All right, where are we at here? 8:30, no, 6:30. We're like 8:30, I'm late. Ah, sorry. All right, let's rock and roll, y'all. We've got some colors. Yay. All right. Now, let's get into shape. So I have these shapes. I'm going to show you, again, a few little tips. I'm not going to do this top portion. If you want to do the top portion, you can. Now, we know Command R is your rulers. And yes, you can drag a ruler out. Now, we only want to draw half, right? I'm not going to use a ruler though. I'm going to show you a little trick. It's kind of nice. And it really helps for templating. If you're doing any template work at work and your boss is like, I need a template done so that everyone knows that these are where you put stuff. We did this at Adidas all the time because we'd have jerseys with numbers and we have to make sure that we have a 3-inch number or a 4-inch number or a 10-inch number. That's hockey. So we needed to make sure every number was exactly the same size because every sport had different category. Basketball had to be 6 inches on the front. If you don't have a 6-inch number on the front, you can be disqualified. So really important for us that we use templates and we use this little feature. You're ready? Hit the P key. And what I want you to do is draw a line like so. So we all have a line. Hold shift down. So click, click, and make sure you hold shift and try to split the doo-doo there right down the center. Now, what I want everyone to do is click on that line, right click on the line. Check this out. Make guides. Neat. Now, by making guides, the benefit to this, everyone, is instead of having ruler guides all over the place, because at Adidas, we would need 1,000 guides and it would drive us bat. You couldn't use the template because there were so many different guides. By making a guide, what that allows you to do is, again, like I said, if you have a 3-inch number on a jersey, I could then go here and go 3 by 3. And there's a 3-inch number, and then I could make guide. Wonderful. Now everyone that goes in knows placement and knows where it has to be and size. Amazing. And we only had so many templates for every sport category, right? Unless it was custom, which the sales guys love custom. Anyway, moving on. So that being said, we've got a guide. Yes, good. Hit the P key. Wonderful. Hover over top of the guide. You should all have a smart guide showing. It should say pink in guide. That's telling me that smart guides are on. This is really important to maybe making sure that you do this properly. Because if you don't flip it or you don't make it right on the middle, then it's not going to work. So what I want you to do is click here. If you cannot see the word guide, do we know how to turn our smart guides on and off? Command U. You guys are rocking. Command U. Good. You'll notice it's no longer showing. You can also find it here in View Smart Guides. Okay. Good. Shift or Command U, sorry. Right click on it and then make guides. And it should just be blue. Your typical guide color.
On it, right?
Yeah.
There, right? Just mark that thing.
Okay, it's showing up. You can see it's there.
Yeah.
But that's weird.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you want to go over it.
Oh, so that's probably here. You just have to change the color of your guide. There. Look. Oh, you have it in like light gray.
That's gray. What's up here? Oh, that's ruler.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, you don't want the gray. You want the gray.
I don't.
Okay. Let's color original ruler one.
When I brought my ruler over, it's that color.
Okay, so your color, that's
My
fine.
ruler, yeah, when I brought it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it should, I don't know why your guides. There's another section there. There's a whole section on this one. Smart guides, color of. Don't stress about it. Because yeah, that's. Yeah. All right, moving on. So we're going to go here, P key, right? And I'm going to start where it says guide, hold shift, and go boom, boom. We get this going, right? And so what I want to do is just click, practiced our pen tool through that AI guy, and you're like, thank you, Mitch, that was awful. And we can now go in and practice our pen tool. And all I need you to do, Command Y, and we will just check it this way. Do not do the I portion because that's something we add on after, right? We want to do the asymmetrical part. So notice how I did that, and I just created the top part. Go here and let's create a neat little eye portion, or the strap for his helmet, or goggles, I guess they'd be. And you can do whatever you wish here, y'all, as long as it looks cool. And yeah, so it's your kind of version if you wish, but make it look similar to what's here, of course. Go there. Now we're going to stop, click, click, click. Okay, good. Command Y, have a look. Now I just happened to touch on beige was the last color I happened to touch on. And remember, Illustrator remembers the last thing you touch. So because I touched beige, notice I have a beige thing. Depending on what swatch or whatever you happened to touch last time, just happened to be what it's going to be, right? So let's get that done like so. We can all hit the D key to get everyone back to square one. I'll give you all a second to just go and draw that guy out. Again, just make sure you're on the guide. You can, of course, just hit shift when you make that first line. That's the most important part. But it's nice that we know that we can get a guide there as well to help us along the line. Pardon the pun. Cool. Is everyone good with that? You want another minute?
That it's really us to like do vectors properly.
Yes, got to do it right. Because you don't want to get a logo wrong, because that can be really costly. Trust me, I know. Now, Shift X, right? We know Shift X will swap, fill and stroke. So hit the D key first once you're ready. Shift X, back and forth. Now, what I want to do is I want to just have a black fill with no stroke, okay? So Shift X, make sure a black is forward, nice. Then we hit the X button, bring our stroke so it's just forward, and then question mark. Nice. You ready? This is a nice little tip. Some of you probably do this. You probably grab this, hold Option, drag, and then go up to Properties and flip. And then from there, you grab it and snap it. And you're like, yes, can I do that, Mitch? Absolutely. But I want to show you a neat little way that you can reflect it, which is kind of cool. So try that again. What I want you to do is undo. Go here, and I want you to hit the O key. And the O is right here. It's your reflection tool. Okay? Now, it shows you kind of like how that works. That's O. So hit O is in Oscar, not 0, O. It'll take you there. That's also your radial tool, right? So go here to reflect. You ready? This is kind of neat. Hold down the Option key. Okay. Option will allow you, notice there's a little minus sign. It's just telling you that it's going to pop up some options for you. What I want you to do is hover over top with Option held down, hover over top of that path. It'll say you're on path, right? And click right now. Cool. What you're going to notice is it's going to come up with your reflect options. Cool. Check this out. Obviously, I don't want to just hit OK. I want to copy. Go ahead and hit copy. And the cool thing about that is I didn't even have to think about moving it and like manually trying to snap it too. You know what I mean? I could literally go, oh, Option click, copy. And you're like, dude, that seemed like longer than just do. Yes, of course. Let's try that again. Command Z, or start here. O, reflect, Option, hover over top of that line, and it's going to say path, right? Options held down, and I want you to click. That will then open up the dialog for reflect. And because you clicked right there with options, it knows it's going to be right on the money. You don't have to think about it. What's that? Yours did?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Did it like did it line up right to where you needed it to? Yeah, perfect.
Mitch, sometimes it with that little radar thing when you press.
Radar?
Kind of, yeah, this little,
Yeah, that's what you want.
okay.
That's telling you where the
It's
reflector
not
is going.
looking right away. Mine can do it as well in the first place.
So that's right, option.
And then go, oh, yeah, you had option before.
Oh, yours does it automatically too. That's nice.
So that was twice. Click twice, right?
Oh, maybe by double clicking it does it automatically instead of going into the dialog. Ah, let's try that. I've never noticed that before. Logan, I wonder if you double clicked on it, pal. I'm going to try this. Someone just showed me. I hold option down and click to open up the dialog. but instead hold Option and try to double click it, and it may instantly put it right where it needs to go. Let's give it a try. What the hell? Option, click, click. No, it doesn't work for me. Shit. I was kind of excited there. That's all right. So I'm going to go here. Don't worry about it. It's just a fun little tip. So use it, don't use it. You can just flip it, use properties and reflect. Lastly, what I need you to do is just unite it. Boom. Now, Command Y, make sure that it looks like that, right? So unite it, go into Pathfinder, just unite. Yeah, you can use Shift M if you wish, but I like using the unite for this because then it will group it, right? It'll make a nice grouping. So it's all done for me there. Now, again, if you have any like misses here, you know that you got to fix it, right? It just means you didn't have a nice, beautiful line, right? That's all. So make sure that looks like that. Let's move on. Because you need to copy. You probably hit OK instead of copy. So copy, yes, copy. And then select it and Pathfinder Unite. All right, let's go here, y'all. Rectangle, hit the M key. And do a rectangle like so. And maybe two little rectangles like so. You can do you. Boom, good. Now I want you to select on those objects, hit Unite. Done, nice. Okay, and we have something like that now. Kind of a cool lens, I don't know what it is. Doesn't matter, it's me, it's us. Oh, I kind of missed a piece here to the, that's all right. I don't mind it like that. P key, let's try that one more time. No, I'm not going to do the top. I don't like it. It's too Stalin. Yeah, it's a Stalin-esque. So go here, right click, make guides. Nice. Now that we have a guide, we know it's guide right there, click. And let's just, don't even need Command Y, don't even need any like fancy stuff. This is just connect the dots, right? La, 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 la. Create some spikes. Nice. So just like before, you'll notice probably will be black because it remembered that we touched the skull last, which is lovely. Okay. V key, let's select on that. And again, if you want to hit the reflect tool or O, Option click, copy, and done. Or as mentioned, you can go Command Option click drag, flip, connect, you do you. Okay. Again, it just is, this can be a little bit more tedious. Or maybe you find the other way tedious. I don't know. There's 17 different ways to get to an end, right, y'all? Remember that? So whatever you're fastest what doing, I'm just hopefully showing you a tip or two that you can add to your toolbox. We need a gear, right? So I'm going to grab a gear. Now these, remember we expanded these all out, okay? So you can use any of these if you wish. I maybe grab one of these brown ones. Command Shift G, I'm gonna ungroup. And that way I can just grab one of these dudes over here. We will need to create a gear. So if your gear didn't seem to work out okay, or you had issue with it, let me know and we'll get it fixed, okay? My gear here has a weird taper on it. It's not the way I wish it to be. And so that's okay. We'll use this today. We can make that black. Awesome. So I just stole from over there. Make sure that you just grab it and move it, okay? Now we need a layer though. We didn't create a layer. So what I want everyone to do is create a new layer. We'll call this out as basic shapes or basic elements, whatever you like. And let's make this in that layer, okay? So grab those three pieces, right? And because you united that spike, meaning Pathfinder Unite, it should be one nice piece, right? It should be a nice grouping, okay? That should be a nice group. And that's just one item. Let's select on these objects. And notice, oopsie, I didn't quite get my layer done, did I? It's still sitting here on colors. That's okay. We know how to move from layer to layer. Just hover over top. We're going to bump this little red dot up. Perfect. Turn it on and off. Woohoo! We're getting there, y'all. We have 15 minutes and I might have to like zip through the next portion, but it's all good. We'll get there. This is kind of neat. I like this. This is a brand new feature Illustrator just launched this like 2025. So if you don't have 2025, get it because it's neat. You could probably get to the end without it, but this is type or objects on path. Okay. So what I want everyone to do, you ready? Do this with me. Bless you. Yes. Thank you, Shannon. We're going to call this out as repeat and radials. Okay. What I want you to do is let's go option, click, and drag. So I want you to bring a little spike guy right up here. Now I want you to make it exactly the size of these ones, or not exactly. We can make some variations. You can play around with it. But I want it to be basically that size. So go ahead. We're going to move it, sorry. Get it close here. Hold shift. And let's just size this so it looks something similar like that. That looks like it's a pretty good size, okay? So now that we have that sized, I want you to just bring this up here to the top of your screen, okay? So just get it sized about something like that. Okay, looks like an asteroid video game. I know, right? Okay. Do we all have a little spike? Option, click and drag. Nice. What I like to do is the great thing about this object on path is you can have different objects, which is really neat. So what I want you to do is make this one a little bigger, option drag, and make a third one even a little more big. So we now have 3 spikes, right? 1, 2, 3. So what I want you now to do is let's grab all 3, marquee select. Option, click and drag. Nice. Now that we have that, command what does duplicate? Command D. Command D, D. Go ahead and give me a bunch, something like that. So we're gonna have, I don't know, 3, 6, 9, 12, 8, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't matter. Give me about 20 of them, maybe. Okay, something like what I have here is great. We can always remove and we can always add and we can always blah, 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 blah. What I'd love you all to do right now is let's grab these, okay? Before we make it into this shape though, we can actually change the color. So maybe we'll go in and let's make it, I don't know, we'll use maybe this brown. Oh, that's nice. We'll add some color now. Okay, so we have those. The next thing that we're going to do is key, yes? Pen tool. All I need you to do, y'all, is with your pen tool, I want you to follow this kind of path that's here. See, that's that? So start here at the top left, click, and it doesn't need to be pretty. It just needs to be here. So we're going to do a path, just kind of follow along, make our S curves. Whoop, okay, we'll come up here. Now this, I'd like to see if you can't kind of create a nice circle area like this, and then come over here. Now you'll notice because I touched the dark brown was the last thing I touched, it remembers it's dark brown. So I'm going to hit Shift X. That way I just swapped my fill to my stroke, right? So now I have a dark brown stroke. Cool. Keep going and have the stroke finish something like that. So here I'm going to hide the template so you can see. There you go. So I have something that's just a basic shape that looks something like that, right? I just followed the path of that asteroid looking shape. Okay. If you want to smooth some of these out, you can, right? It's all good. Now, this is really neat, y'all. Again, it's brand new. I thought I'd share it with you because it's fun. This works really great for like planets. If you want to do like a Saturn and a Mars and a Jupiter, and if you maybe seen some tutorials, that's what they use is the planetary thing. I thought I'd just show it to you kind of a different way of doing it. Select on your objects, y'all. Okay. Object. And I want you to go to objects on path. And I want you to attach. And now what I want you to do is hover over top of this line. And what you're going to find is it's going to give you this little bend with the like blocks, and click. Hey, cool. And what you're going to notice is it's going to take all of your spikes and it's going to then place it on the path. This looks like a dog's breakfast. And you're like, yeah, that's shitty. I know, but check this out. You ready? This is super fun. What I want you to do is go down here and notice that at the very bottom, it says rotate all. And so I want you to go here to the bottom and start rotating them and notice how it changes every one of them and rotates it in the path. So cool. So again, this is really neat if you want to, we're going to look again at brushes. And this is kind of like, you can make a brush almost with like very custom objects, which is kind of neat. The other neat thing, aside from that, the rotation, everyone get it so it looks kind of like so, right? Pointing in one direction, it makes more sense that way. Check out here. I want everyone now to go to the top and then slide the bar back and forth at the top of the bar. And notice what happens. Oh, cool. It's not adding more. What it's doing is it's actually tightening up and flowing along the path. Isn't that neat? So I kind of, this was a happy accident. I'm like, this is amazing for like doing a giant, like a dragon. Yeah. And I'm like, this looks happy accident. I'm like, this is awesome. You can create, like if you're doing a theme for Chinese New Year, this would be a really cool thing that you could add to it, a custom dragon kind of flowing, right? And then you can adjust the rotation on it and have it go this way or that way. Really kind of neat, right? Anyway, I just wanted to show that to you. You can, in fact, go in and make adjustments if you don't like the pattern, or, you know, say you had, these are all independent shapes, right? So you can actually pop in like different elements and different shapes. If I didn't want this color to be brown, I can literally click, double click, click, click. Remember I talked about isolation mode. So click, click in. And now what you can do is you can actually go in and change the color of these. So like every second one, if you want to do it pink, or maybe I go here and I want this to be purple. You know what I'm saying? And you have full control over that, which is kind of neat, right? So there you go. You've got those. Now, one thing that's a little distracting is the line still there, isn't it? So you'll notice that the line is still sitting there. If you hit the A key, getting your white arrow, you can actually just select on the stroke and remove it. So if you go here, I'm going to just click away. So I'm out of isolation mode. A, and then what you got to do is kind of like hover. There you go. Just get in there. Check it out. You can actually move you can move your path around. See that? Because it's flowing on that path. So you can actually make adjustments. If I wanted to round this off, I can round that off. If I wanted to have this one go up here, you of course just need to get on the path. And there it is. Kind of neat. You can have a lot of fun with effects, and, you know, if you're doing posters and so on, you can have a lot of fun with that. Okay. Just add it to your kit. Now we're almost there, y'all. I know we're coming to the end. I have this one because I'm recording it. If you guys are like, I'm out, I'm grabbing my bus and see you later, man. That's fine. But I'm going to do this to the end of where we got to in the other two classes. Okay. Because it's good that we're all on the same page. Sorry, that being said, go here. Let's remove the stroke color, right? So go there, question mark, get rid of stroke. There we go. So that's a little better. You can kind of get a better look to it, right? And then you can add and so on. Now, what I'm going to show you is the repeat function is really neat. That's the other thing we're going to look at now. The last thing we're going to look at. What I want you to do is grab this spike right here, make a copy of it. We're going to do the same thing, and bring the spike up there for me, please. Okay, so you have the spike there. Now, go into object. There's a few things that are really cool in here, and I show them, but I've kind of decided to not show some of them because they're good, but they're kind of irritating. Like the grid is neat, an object repeat. The grid is like instant pattern maker. If you ever want to make a pattern, you can actually click there and notice it will do a pattern for you. But I'm going to show you the pattern tool, which is a lot more intuitive. So I don't like this, right? We're going to do a pattern properly. That's a nice quick way to do a pattern. But anyway, the other one is the mirror. The mirror is kind of neat because that will allow you to kind of, if you click on the object and mirror it, notice what happens. It will literally make a mirror on the other side for you. So if you're doing asymmetrical drawings, you can then do that. Again, the problem with the repeat mirror is I don't really like how you have to expand it, and it doesn't expand well. It gives you a line. Maybe they fixed it since, but I'm just not, I mean, it's, yeah. So I kind of stopped showing this one. If you want to play around with it, you can. The one that I think is kick-ass is this one. Object, repeat, radial. This one's super fun. The reason I also like it is it's a lot more usable, I feel. Check this out. Now, don't touch the bottom one. See the bottom little like split? Don't touch that one, okay? Because it's going to create a break and it's not going to work as well. What I wanted to show you, check this out. Grab the little white dot like we worked in the beginning. Check it out. It will now take that and add the star in and out. So freaking cool, okay? Also, check this out. If you want to add more instances, just like the star, click, drag down and up. And you can add instant multiples and add in as many as, how many does it go up to? 20 probably? Ooh, look at that. Oh, well, that's not fair. It goes all the way up to freaking 40, but the star only goes up to 20. What's wrong with you? So here we go. Let's go here and maybe do instances of maybe 11, something like that. 10, 8, I don't care. Make it whatever you wish. Isolation mode. This is cool. Double click on one of them. Any of them. It doesn't matter. Now that you're in isolation mode, I want you to rotate one. No way. That is so cool. So what you're going to find, this is so good for tattoo as well, work. You now can then rotate it and notice how it bases it off that one that you're moving. You can also now change the color of it. So notice I added a stroke and it will add the stroke on all of them, right? If I want to add a fill, we can then add a fill. Probably not yellow, yikes. So we have something like a so, right? I do not like my stroke on there. It looks awful. Ooh, that's better. Okay. So now we have something like that. Click away, click, click. Good. And then we can go back in and you can adjust the size like so. Okay. Nice. Now, adjusting the size is like any other object. You can now just adjust the size. So go ahead and do that. Let's put this over here. We're going to create another element that we can kind of play with. And we'll bring that there. Okay. I am going to go in and anyway, let's do that. Now, last step before we go, let's just grab this scully here, put the skull in the center. Okay. And actually, we have the gear as well. Put the gear in the center. Okay. You can hit the D key at this time so we can have a look at it. Okay. So we have a gear, we have a skull. Good. And then let's do a Shift X. Okay, so we're going to swap that. We're going to select on that, hit the D key, get rid of the stroke. And y'all, that's class aside from maybe taking these three elements. And what are we going to do now just to make sure that they're right in line? Center, right? So just grab it. Because they're all going to be based on the same center point, circle, circle, and object. Hit center, center, done, y'all. That's class. Thank you for making it out. Hopefully you can utilize some of those little tips and tricks and tools. And yeah, we'll come back next week. We got a lot to do. We're going to create the logo. We're going to create some more blends. We're going to create a pattern. And then we'll hand it in. Yes, Shannon. Have a great weekend. Almost. Sure. Oh, it's right there. Good. Select on the object. Good. Go on to your own object on that. Good. Come over the bottom of the line. And then play around with it. All right. You're welcome. See you, Logan. Have a good one. Yes, by the way. Yes, that's why. Upgrade. Yeah, and then as long as something happens, all you gotta do is click and it'll automatically do it. Okay? Yeah. Yes. Hey, how are you? Good. What do you got? Mhm. Nice. This is your website already? Beautiful. Be digital, nice. You've already done this.
So I can go with this. Oh, what is this?
Yeah, so you've already got it. So you've already got your brand, right? Be digital. Now. Yeah.
So an example,
Yeah, no, this is nice. This is good. I like it. I like the brand, but again, we need to make sure we can do all the stuff. And you've already got a logo, so you've already got, there's no, all the brainstorming and all that stuff to get the thought.
but maybe I can make like a note on this or.
Yes, I would say try a different name. And rebrand, I would, when did you do this? Like recently?
Because I already have that in mind from the day.
Right. Yeah, and I like it. It's really nice. But I just want you to kind of like dig into something. I'm wondering, you don't have anybody who needs a brand done, eh? Like, I'm just wondering if you can use someone in your feed. See ya, bye. You know, because I would look like we just need to go back and kind of revisit, I think.
So I don't have any response from my name. So I don't know if I can.
That would be wonderful. Can you do that? Let's go with your name and base everything that we've done off of your name.
Okay.
That would be wonderful.
Okay.
And see if we can't get some ideas. And who knows, you might go, oh, I like that. Now you'll like it better, but at least then you can go through the process. Cool? All right, Ange. Yeah, very nice. Nice work. Perfect.
Hi, where are you gonna post this video? I missed the very last part.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I should probably stop it.